Today we are going to talk about the introduction or orientation to human anatomy. In this lecture we will discuss the basic terms regarding human anatomy. First of all we will discuss the basic two terms, that is anatomy and physiology. What is anatomy and what is physiology? First of all we will discuss about anatomy. Anatomy is the study of structure, but physiology is the study of function. These two terms are always used together because we cannot separate each other. When we see the structure, then we must know about it, that what does it do. This statement, what does it do, indicate the study of function of that structure. That's why these two terms are always used together. Now let's move towards the definition of anatomy and physiology. Anatomy, as we have discussed, that anatomy is the study of structure. The study of structure. To make a clinical diagnosis and perform physical examination, we see the surface anatomy. And when we see the deeper observation, to make a cut and remove the tissues and see the internal organs, to make observation, and for that purpose the term used is called dissection. Dissection means carefully cutting. These two terms, anatomy and dissection, literally mean cutting apart. These two terms, they literally mean cutting apart. Another term used in this session, that is cadaver. Cadaver is used for the study of dead human body, and this study is always done by the many health care students, many health sciences students in their training session. What was the term? That is cadaver. The study of dead human bodies. Now let's move towards the types of anatomy. What are the types of anatomy? The anatomy can be divided into two parts. That is gross anatomy and microscopic anatomy. First one is gross anatomy and second is microscopic anatomy. What is gross anatomy and what is microscopic anatomy? The structure that can be seen with naked eye, that's called gross anatomy. And the study of structure of tissues or specimen under the microscope, that's called microscopic anatomy. We will move towards the gross anatomy in our further sessions. Now let's take an example of anatomy, as called neuroanatomy. Now, what is physiology? Physiology is the study of function. As we have discussed, the anatomy is the study of structure, while physiology is the study of function. Physiology is the study of function. There are different types of physiology. Number one is neurophysiology. What is neurophysiology? The function of nervous system or neurons. And endocrinology. Endocrinology related to the hormones. So, the function of hormone, the study of function of hormones. This was the term anatomy and physiology. So let's move towards the anatomical position. What is anatomical position? Anatomical position is used to describe the human anatomy in a proper way. To define or precise the standard frame of reference. That's why we used to describe the human anatomy in proper way, and that proper way should be in anatomical position. What is anatomical position? In anatomical position, we see the structure, proper location of structure of that organ, because where is the aorta, where is thymus gland, and where is proper location of heart, and where is the proper description and how to describe that organ in a proper way. For example, the thymus or aorta is superior to the heart, while and the heart is the medial to the lungs, because we cannot describe the structure without anatomical position. When we see the structure of forearm, in forearm these two bones are parallel to each other, ulna and radius. The radius is lateral to the ulna, but in prone position, when spine position or prone position, spine position is that when face of palm is upward, and when prone position the face of palm is downward. But when we are talking about this forearm position of two bones, that is ulna and radius, because in normal position, in spine position, the ulna and radius, the radius is lateral to the ulna. When this position is downward or prone position, and the ulna or radius, the radius is medial to the ulna at elbow point, while lateral to the radius of ulna at wrist joint. That is why the anatomical position is very important. We should know what are the basic points should be noted in anatomical position. What are the points? That is, first of all, this body should be in erect position, arms should be aside, and face of palm facing forward, feet together, eyes and face should be in forward direction. These points should be noted in anatomical position. First of all, what is anatomical position? First of all, the body should be in erect position, standing upright. Second, arms should be aside, arms at the side. Face of palm facing forward, palm of hand facing forward. Number 4, feet together. And the last but not the least, eyes and face forward. These points should be noted in anatomical position, because when one of them is neglected, the anatomical position, we cannot say this is anatomical position. That's why these 5 points should be observed while making an anatomical position. Anatomical position is strictly monitored to describe the human structure. Now we are moving towards the anatomical planes. What is anatomical plane? After anatomical position, we will discuss anatomical planes. Anatomical planes are the planes are section or the cut to describe the human anatomy. But planes are the imaginary cut, and sections implies on the real cut to describe the human anatomy. But we are discussing now the planes. What are the anatomical planes? Planes implies an imaginary chart to describe the human anatomy. There are three types of imaginary chart or planes used in human anatomy to describe the structure. First of all, sagittal plane, and the second is frontal plane, and third is transverse plane. These are the three anatomical planes. Before we really go to in detail of sagittal plane and frontal plane and then transverse plane, we should discuss the basic directional terms so we can easily understand these planes. So now we have to move directional terms. What are the directional terms? We will discuss one by one. First of all, the direction term is anterior, and second is posterior. What is anterior and what is posterior? Anterior is term is used to describe the structure that lies to in front position. This is the towards the front. Any structure that lies in front line or in front position, that's called anterior, and posterior towards the back. The structure which lies to the backward, that's called posterior. What is anterior? Towards the front, and posterior towards the back. For example, when we are talking about anterior, in anterior, here is the sternum, and sternum is anterior to the vertebral column because vertebral column is in posterior position. And when we will talk about the posterior and we talk about the vertebral column is posterior to the sternum or any structure that is in anterior side. So anterior and posterior. The other two terms used synonymously, we can say that ventral and dorsal. These terms have the same definition, that anterior and ventral towards the front. Ventral is also used to describe the structure which lies in front line or front position. So dorsal also used in replace of term posterior towards the back. So we can see that ventral, dorsal, anterior, posterior. How we can remember ventral and dorsal? In ventral, EN, N, and T, and T, two letter in ventral, and having two letter in anterior, anti. So we can use anterior and ventral for same definition, towards the front, and in dorsal or posterior, the definition of these two terms, that is towards the back. So any structure which we can describe posteriorly or in backward, that's called posterior or dorsal. How we can remember? In posterior the letter O, and in dorsal the letter O. So this is the method to remember the anterior, posterior, and ventral and dorsal. And the remaining terms, that is superior and inferior. The upper structure of body, that's called superior, and the lower structure of body, that's called inferior. How we can describe this structure? The head is superior to the clavicle. Here is the clavicle bone and here is the head superior. the head is the superior to the clavicle bone. And when we see the definition of term of inferior, how we can describe it? Because the lower limb is inferior to the chest cavity or abdominopelvic cavity. So these two terms can be applied for the upper portion superior and the lower portion, like our lower structure, is inferior, and the remaining term is distal and proximal. Any structure away from the origin. The definition of distal is away from the origin, and near to the origin. Distal and proximal. So here is the elbow joint. This is the origin. And distal. What is distal? The wrist joint, the hand is distal to the elbow joint. And proximal, the ulna and radius is proximal to the elbow joint. Another term used for this purpose to describe the human anatomy, that is lateral or medial and medial. Lateral and medial. For example, this is the midline position. The body can be divided into right and left half, and in middle here is the sternum. This is the sternum. This is the xiphoid process. Here is the angle of Lewis. This is the sternum. Sternum is always in the midline position. The structure of sternum. Sternum is in midline position. This is the midline position. We can say any organ which lies in middle position, that is called midline position. And this structure that is away from the midline, the structure away from the midline, that's called lateral. And the any structure towards the midline is called medial. What is medial and what is lateral? This structure away from the midline is called lateral, and structure towards the midline, that's called medial. What is medial to the sternum and what is the lateral to the sternum? Here are the ribs attachment over here. The 12 pairs are attached to the sternum. How we can describe these two terms? Because ribs are lateral to the sternum. Because the ribs are lateral to the sternum, away from the midline. This is the midline. And sternum is medial to the ribs. Sternum is medial to the ribs. These are the directional terms. Now we can easily understand the anatomical planes. As we have discussed that three types of anatomical planes are used to describe the human anatomy. In sagittal plane, first of all, sagittal plane. In sagittal plane, we implies a cut vertically in midline position, vertically, and the body will be divided into right and left half. This type of plane is called imaginary plane. In imaginary plane, the body will be divided into right and left half. And the second one is frontal or coronal plane. In coronal plane or frontal plane, the cut is applied in midline, and in this type of plane, the body will be divided into anterior and posterior portion, and this type of cut is called frontal or coronal plane. In this frontal or coronal plane, the body will be divided into anterior or posterior portion. Anterior and posterior portion, the body will be divided, and this type of plane is called frontal or coronal plane. And the third one is transverse plane. In transverse plane, the cut or plane or imaginary cut is applied horizontally, and the body will be divided into superior and inferior portion. That is called transverse plane. The cut or plane is applied horizontally, and the body will be divided into superior and inferior portion. This is called transverse plane. The body will be divided into superior and inferior. These were the three planes which we can use in human anatomy. One is sagittal plane, second is frontal plane, and third is transverse plane. In sagittal plane, the imaginary cut is applied in midline position vertically, and body will be divided into right and left half. And in frontal or coronal plane, the cut or imaginary cut is applied vertically but in midline position, and body will be divided into front and anterior and posterior. And this cut, for example, this is midline position, and when this coronal plane in imaginary cut is applied, and this cut is also in midline position, and this cut is also vertically, but it will be perpendicular to this cut, to this sagittal plane, and body will be divided into anterior and posterior position, and third one is transverse plane. In transverse plane, the cut or imaginary cut is applied horizontally, and the body is divided into superior and inferior portion. This type of plane is called transverse plane. These were the three anatomical planes. And in next lecture, we will cover or we will discuss body cavities and different organ systems.